Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. The best way is... If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto. My name is Ben. Where's my balls? Which one of you called him Frankie Kinkles? I want to know. We are having a hardcore discussion. Guys, this is serious. Okay, we've been talking about Frank's ankles and calves. That's why we're late. 6 minutes late. All right, guys. It's serious around here. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name has been every single day live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come to you, and today is no different. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff. This guy says, I am a people. This is not my channel. And then he puts a freaking alien afterwards. Yeah, this is not the aliens channel. We don't put around with those. We don't mess with aliens. Guys, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. Dead serious. Not lying. Did we put that on the title? On the thumb?
No.
Bitcoin all-time high? Well, that's what it says right here. So guys, it took all night last night, but Bitcoin finally is at $70,000 today. So we should do a show where we just pretend the price is whatever we want it to be. Like on November 28th, no matter what, we should come in here and say, all right, guys, that's it, $10,000.
Yeah. We could do a bizarre world where it's like we pretend it's May, like right the day before the big May crash or something like that.
Yeah.
We're just like covering all the news and that'd be good.
That'd be good. Oh, I do like the idea somebody suggested where we have a segment where they go and take an old clip from one of my shows and then we talk about it on the live stream. You think that'd be funny? Y'all like that? Let's see if people would like that. Let's do a poll. All right, guys. Sorry, we are a little bit late today. Sorry about that. But, guys, when somebody calls your friend Frankie Kinkles, it'll make you really angry. Have a whole group discussion about it. All right, let's go and get started. Well, I know we're running a little behind. We will go ahead and see how many cryptos there are. We are now at 21.2. 21,206. Does anybody know what this was at when we started showing it and saying every day?
Like 2,000, right?
It was like 19,700, 19,600, I think. Wow. Is what it was. That, if you guys remember why we actually started showing the amount of cryptos and exchanges, it was because everyone is telling you 90% of the coins are going to be gone by the end of the cycle. So, it's really tough right now because ever since people started saying that, we have now gained about 1,600 coins. So, really, really close to going down. Exchanges, 527, which has also been an interesting number to watch. The reason why I noticed this now is because we lost so many exchanges in a short period of time going insolvent. Market cap, 953 billion. Volume extremely low. Guys, nobody's trading right now. Nobody is trading right. We got to come up with a reason for people to trade. I don't know what it's going to be. Bitcoin dominance coming at 40.1%. ETH dominance, 17.1%. ETH gas. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
What a jump. What is that from?
I don't know. Something must be going on.
Frankie ankles is allowed. Or Frankie's ankies. Frankie's kankies. All right. This would be, I got to do some quick math on this. This would be 48 and a half Paraguays. What is this FTX Bankman-Fried Solana story? Do we have something over here? Why is he asking about FTX Bankman-Fried and Solana?
I have no idea.
Let me tell you. There is bad stuff going on behind the scenes. There are more major players involved in this thing that we've been talking about with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried than I even thought. Got some information on that. This is definitely the push that is happening. They're trying to get rid of decentralization. I know that sounds insane. Thought it could never be done. But in America, that's exactly what Sam Bankman-Fried is trying to do. Ben, would you still love the Falcons if Sam Bankman-Fried bought a team?
That's a tough one.
Well, I'll tell you this. Sam Bankman-Fried bought the Falcons. It means I'd be in the stadium with him at the same time. Let me tell you. Catch that guy in a dark alley? He's going to have a bad day. Hey, let me tell you. That fro, that haircut, I'm going to finally come face to face with. No, Sam Bankman-Fried is human garbage. He's human garbage. And I hope you guys are taking this information that I've been telling you, because In fact, what FTX is trying to do, what Sam Bankman-Fried is trying to do, they were trying to operate in the shadows. They didn't want you to know that it's them. They didn't want you to know that when a federal bit license comes out, it's coming from Sam Bankman-Fried. Somebody needs to take that clip. They need to go tag him. You tell him he needs to answer. He needs to be held accountable for what he's doing. And I would just tell you this. If after hearing what you've heard about what he's doing, if you still use FTX and you are in crypto, you are a Benedict Arnold. You're a traitor. Traitor. You're a traitor if you use FTX. He's trying to destroy everything we've worked for. The whispers are, they're literally trying to destroy crypto in the United States outside of what's underneath his umbrella and a few other major players. You can guess who they are, major exchanges in the United States? Weird, isn't it? Where's Jesse Powell at? You think he would stand for this? You think Jesse Powell will go along with this?
No.
Who do you think it is? I'm not going to say names. You guys should be, you should know. It'd be pretty obvious who the major players are. Now, I will tell you this. Binance is not involved in this. Binance is not involved in this at all. Binance is not an American company. However, I'll tell you this. Binance is potentially the swing here. If Binance were to side with the axis of evil that's on the other side that's trying to create this federal bit license, it would be over. It would be game over. It would be game over. However, if Binance came out against them, or Binance were to support some people doing, trying to combat what they're doing, then that would be huge for crypto. However, the thing is, what's their motivation? Other than for crypto. Because financially, Binance is already not used by American citizens. Binance.us is. Hey, I tell you what, this could actually be a way that Binance could come out in support of decentralization against what Sam Bankman-Fried is doing, trying to create a federal bit license, come out against it, and we could push people over to Binance.us. Because I'll tell you, it's about the only American exchange that's not involved in this. The only major American exchange not involved in this. Now, look, Binance.us is technically it's not, the way it's structured within Binance is very interesting. It's not a subsidiary. It's a separate company, but they use all the same branding. And the rumors are CZ still kind of calls the shots over there. That's why some people stepped down that were the CEOs previous to that. I don't know that for sure. I'm just telling you what I heard. We knew Catherine Coley left. She's been missing for like a year and a half. Missing. She just gone silent. People know she's alive. But then also there is Brian Brooks. Brian Brooks took over at Binance.us for Catherine Coley, former OCC, former lawyer at Coinbase, and he's gone too. He left quickly thereafter. So Royals Rowie says, if the bit license comes through, could that send us into this long-term bear market people are calling for? I will tell you this. If Sam Bankman-Fried is successful in creating a federal bit license, go hold that man accountable. I'm the only person speaking out about this, and this is happening. This is real. This is behind the scenes. This is potentially becoming public either the end of November to the beginning of next year. They wanted to hide from it. Sam Bankman-Fried did not want to be attached to this because he's a good guy in crypto. This man needs to be held accountable. If this happens, crypto is dead to us in America, guys. I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how important and how dire this is. Decentralization, gone. It's gone in the United States. You're a criminal if you use a decentralized exchange. A criminal. And guess what? All these American companies that are involved in crypto, with the exception of Ripple or with the exception of Kraken, places like that, they're already not American companies. Most of these American companies are American in name only. Their offices are somewhere else, but now they won't be able to use American citizens. They won't be able to American citizens won't be able to use them. So here's the thing. This is what I need you to understand. This is not about a bull run. This is not about a bear market. Do you know what this is? This is about the permanence of crypto becoming stock market 2.0. That's what they want. They want stock market 2.0. Bitcoin cycles, out the window. 100x altcoins, gone. Decentralization doesn't exist. This isn't about a bull market, guys. This changes things forever. Remember the stories yesterday? Report says crypto could mess traditional finance up. What? Crypto might be a threat to banking. Remember that article yesterday or the day before? They're paying attention. They see this. Sam Bankman-Fried is the person who's trying to fuse it together. He's the one who's trying to fuse traditional with crypto and put them together and have stock market 2.0. There are a few ways that this does not happen. There's only a few ways. There's only a few ways. One is to find an alternative. And there is an alternative put together, rolling out soon, hopefully. We'll have to see what happens. But that is the only way we're going to see things not go this way. Or the other option, which the two can be combined together. The other option is the public. The public has to be so against this that they have no choice but to can it. TJ, do you remember the outcry when the New York bit license was the idea came out?
No, that was kind of before I was really paying attention to crypto.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the point. Okay, I was in crypto at that time. I didn't even know this was going on. All of a sudden, before you knew it, bit license, New York. Everybody's got it. I didn't live in New York. There was not an outcry. There were like 6 people in crypto, and like 3 of them were in jail at the time. You know, people kept their mouths shut because they didn't know what was going on. They didn't understand. And they didn't care. Today, there are enough of us in this. Look at GameStop. Look at AMC. Look at the meme stock culture on Wall Street. Guys, it's going to take that kind of push to get rid of this. I'm telling you guys, this is for the first time. I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be really honest with you guys. For the first time in my entire life since I've been in crypto, for my first time in crypto, I see something that can kill it. I see something that can take everything we talk about on the show, the future, the hope, the American dream, changing the British dream to be playing football on the pitch with Mr. Bean. Takes all the dreams of the money and the changing of our lives that you have, the change of your life. It destroys it. It destroys it. Let me ask you this. Before you got into crypto, I want to talk to the people who are living paycheck to paycheck, $25 a week, dollar cost averaging, people who have families and you don't see a way out. You don't see a way that you're going to be able to provide for your family with long-term on just a salary. The people who hate what you do. Why are you in crypto? Why are you in crypto? Because it's the only thing, probably for the first time in your adult life, that has given you hope that you won't have to live the way you live right now forever. Doesn't that sum it up? Because I know that's what it did for me. And I assume that's why most of you guys watch this show. Okay? We have to come out against this, or all that's gone. It's destroyed. So, be giving you information as that becomes public on that, but that is happening. We got to fight against that. And this is dead serious. This is going to continue to be a gigantic focus on this show. We're going to be the voice against them. We are going to be the voice against Sam Bankman-Fried. We're going to be the voice that takes all the other crypto communities and puts them together. And we outcry against this. You stop using FTX. I'm telling you, stop using FTX. If you are using FTX, it's blood money. You are funding the devil in crypto. So, all right, we'll look at the prices now, I guess. That's important. Looking at Bitcoin, $19,974. There you go. Ethereum coming to $13.27. It looks like, has it been outside the 13s the whole week on the show?
No.
It might have swung the other way. Please explain how how Son of Sam, that's what we call him now, Son of Sam, benefits from something like this. It's a centralized exchange. He's the only show in town, and a couple other major players. No small players are in town. So he wants to turn into stock market 2.0. Guess what happens if crypto becomes stock market 2.0? Who starts doing crypto? All the people who are currently using the stock market. How do you think big money institution funds, VCs, are entering crypto will affect the impact of the 4-year cycle? Also, do you think the fact that most of the Bitcoin that ever existed has already been mined played a role? Well, the second part, yeah, that definitely plays a role. That's huge in the supply and demand. That's why we have the 4-year cycle where price goes up, because less is being produced. Big money institution funds, VCs, they're here. They've been here since the last cycle. So what does that look like? Well, bottom looks about the same. Top, we didn't get as high. If this moves forward to stock market 2.0, then those people are going to have a great time. But as of right now, it has not yet affected the 4-year cycle. We get diminishing returns every cycle, so that has stayed in line. It was just a more dramatic drop than we expected. So we'll have to see what happens there. XRP up 48.87 cents. Dogecoin up. Polygon is now about 320 million ahead of Polkadot. So there you go. We'll get the biggest gainers of the day. Trust Wallet token, 6.44%. Helium, Dogecoin, Codex Finance, XRP. Dogecoin obviously pumping due to the Elon Musk news. He's going to be buying Twitter. So I don't know what you guys think about that. All right. Let's who's that guy that we bring on that's got the cankles?
I thought you're not allowed to say that.
Oh, he's Frankie Cankles. No, here he comes.
What is going on, everybody? Yeah, it might have pretty decent calves, but the ankles, maybe not so much. Ooh, you good? Whoa, that threw me off. That was the opposite end. It's flipped backwards in the camera. But guys, I hope you're having a good day. We got a lot to look at on the charts here. We do have some stuff going on the lower time frames because, as you guys know, price action has not been that exciting, but that does not mean that you can't take advantage of these small moves on these lower time frames. And I'm gonna kind of show you a couple of trades that I've taken recently, kind of what I've been doing recently, just kind of showing you those lower time frames, finding those key levels, waiting for price to get to those levels, and then looking for confirmations to enter some short scalp trades. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of what I'm looking at there. And then we're going to take a look at those longer time frames, kind of see if those bullish things that we saw popping up on the higher daily time frames are still intact, or if they look like they can get rolled over on. And then we'll take a look at the SPY and the DXY as we typically do. I'm going to give this a refresh. Okay, there we go. Okay, back to the normal candles. But let's go ahead and start off here on Bitcoin. And I just want to show you guys, we'll start off on the higher time frames here, because as you guys know, on these higher daily time frames, we are starting to print some pretty bullish signals, and that's bullish divergences on a lot of these higher time frames. And these are still intact, right? The VWAPs are still coming up pretty nice. 6-day is still printing a green dot. Your 5-day is printing a green dot as well. And then as you work your way down here, obviously confirmed green dot and the 3-day confirmed green dot, which happened a little while ago. But the higher time frames do still seem to be intact, so nothing really that alarming on the higher time frames. Not too surprised to see this little pullback this morning. But if you come on over to the daily chart, obviously we did print that green dot. VWAP starting to roll over here. And I'm just going to come down to these lower time frames so we could kind of talk about the levels we've been watching and kind of what has happened. Because again, these smaller time frames are kind of where I'm living as far as the trades go. Because the price action is just kind of going sideways. But as you can see, guys, we were targeting this level for this pump up. Our first target was about 20.1K, and then right up here at about 20,400 was our next target. And we hit the first target, a couple times here, but then finally ripped to this second target, putting in bearish divergences against that key level of resistance. And then we caught that short down. And the reason I bring that up is because, again, this is kind of how I'm playing the market right now as far as my trading goes. A lot more shorter term scalp trading rather than, multi-day or, multi-day swing trades. Or sometimes you could even hang out in a swing trade for a week or so. But or longer. But that, obviously we did catch that short on the way down. And then from there, my plan, right, was for, I think I talked about this on the morning stream, waiting for that pullback. We saw the bearish divergence, knew it was going to come down, or knew it was probable, I should say, that it was going to come down. And one of those main levels that I was looking for price to come to was that point of control at about 19,771. And we were talking about how this was the level we could pull back to before having another continuation to the upside. And caught a nice little scalp trade here. We had the price come right down to that POC. And again, guys, it's not because I'm some wizard or, have these secrets. I teach all this stuff for free, how to find these levels, how we find such accurate levels and how we know when price is going to pull back to them. Anybody can learn this, but we came right down to that POC. And
where should they go to learn that?
Yeah, if you guys want to learn how to trade these smaller time frames or swing trade, we talk about a lot of stuff on my channel, even long-term investing strategies. You can check us out on Frankie Candle, the YouTube channel, Frankie Candles, or Frankie_Candles on all socials. And we do put some stuff out on Twitter as well. But if you really want the sauce, guys, you got to get into that live stream at 5:45 and in the free Discord, which we have links all over our channel on every video description if you want to join that. But we waited for price to come down to this point of control. We came down almost to the dollar, wicked a little bit below. But as price was approaching this level, I was coming down to these lower time frames, looking for money flow coming up and potential bullish divergences or anything that was looking like, pointing to the upside, right? So we had price come down, came down to those lower time frames and saw bullish divergences forming here on the 5-minute. And you can see that here. Obviously, you do have much lower lows coming in here into that area of key support as you have momentum moving to the upside. And then this green dot confirming would be your signal, and you had money flow coming up. So a pretty confident trade there, and grabbed this scalp trade, obviously up a decent bit here. So with a little bit of leverage, obviously on the 5-minute chart, not the biggest move when you're zoomed in this much, but you throw a little bit of leverage on that, you can make these moves much bigger than they actually are and get more profit. So that's basically how I was able to get into that scalp trade. And again, if you guys want to learn how to find these key levels and what to look for to get into these trades, definitely check out my the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Let me just go back real quick just to give you guys some more levels I'm watching. I do think we could potentially pull back up into this gold box to and we will most likely find some decent resistance there. That is coming in back at 20,100. Obviously, this was one of our targets on the way up, and we did get resistance there. So it is likely that we will bump our head on that. But the fact that we are above this POC does show the bulls are in control, at least here in the short term. And we can continue up here until that level of resistance. And again, if we break that, probably going to come to the top of this gold box coming in at 20,400.
There's no hope to get above 20,000 anytime soon, right? But above that box.
We'll have to see. I think for the most part, let me show you guys some of the more bearish things popping up too.
Cool. They love when you see that, when you show the bear stuff.
Yeah. Gotta show the bear stuff. We don't want anyone getting too excited here. But we do have a 30-minute money flow crossover into the red. This is a decently bearish sign. And the reason for that is not only because the money flow is in the red, but because if you come up to these higher hourly time frames, you are starting to print red dots. You have one printing on the 6-hour. You also have one. Okay, there it is. I didn't know if it popped up yet, but we do have one now printing on the 8-hour. This is it gives us a pretty decent pullback to the downside. And then if we are going to continue down, guys, a major level of support that I would be watching is this POC. If we decisively lose this point of control, I would be expecting to pull back to the value area low potentially, which is down here coming in at 18,825. You also have this golden pocket coming in at about 19,530. So if we lose that golden pocket, just essentially this POC, if we lose this level at 19,771, we would be expecting to potentially come down to the range lows here. And that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red and that 8-hour red dot could get us there, but we'll have to see. Now you guys have the resistance, and this is why I'm playing the markets the way I am on those lower time frames. Just jumping in, grabbing my bag when I can expect price to come down a little bit. I jump in, grab that bag, jump out. We come down to support. I see the bullish confirmations. You jump in, you jump right out. That way you don't get stuck, trying to hop into a long-term, a longer-term long, and then you wind up coming down and getting wrecked. I have been just kind of jumping in, grabbing my bag in super short-term time frames. But Let's take a look at the SPY and see if we can get any bullish or bearish confirmations here. But
Sorry.
no, you're good. Shout out to a trader UDN said, what is the name of the indicator at the bottom? Guys, at the bottom right here, these waves, this is Market Cipher. If you guys want to sign up for Market Cipher, definitely check the links in the description down below, and probably will pop up here in chat at some point. But yeah, check it out, guys. Market Cipher and Lux Algo are my two main indicators that I use every single day. They've completely changed the game for me when I found them. So if you're liking what you see and you want to learn how to use it, I also teach this on my YouTube channel.
And who was the first person that showed you should use Market Cipher?
Well, it was this YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
It was a YouTuber, a crypto YouTuber.
Okay.
Pretty big, I will say.
How much do you think he weighed at the time?
Well, I will say this. I won't talk about his weight, but I will say he had over 1 million subscribers.
Holy crap.
And his name starts with a B.
Oh.
Double B.
Double.
I call him BB.
Double
BB.
Coin Bureau, that's CB. Okay. So here's the lesson, guys. The lesson is, if you learn how to use Market Cipher, not only will you become a winning trader, but you might get to come host a show.
That is
on
right.
my channel.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah. Now you have to put up with probably 9 months in a cage.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to put up with the cage, and listen, the chains around the ankles, they will bruise you up a little bit, but it heals over time. And if you ask nicely, they will swap the chains out for nice belts, which are a little bit softer, a little bit more malleable.
If you had stayed a little bit longer, you might have got the fuzzy leopard.
I was gonna say the feather stuff comes in.
Oh yeah.
later.
Oh, I should have stuck around in that cage a little bit longer. Dang, came out too early. But guys, taking a look here again, Market Cipher, guys, definitely check it out. I would hate trading a lot more if I did not have Market Cipher. But if we take a look at the SPY here, guys, unfortunately, we have come down. Same story here. We put in some bearish divergences here, came down. We are now bearishly retesting this level here at about, let me try to get this as close as possible, at about 372.62. We are now broken down through that support level and are now testing it as resistance. We could potentially see a continuation to the downside from here for the SPY. In the shorter term, you might get a little bit of a, you might kind of just consolidate here. But if we lose this level, I would expect to potentially come down to some of these fib levels. And I don't know if we'll make it all the way back down to this 358 level. Hoping that, some of these fib levels may hold. But this is, this could look a little better. The fact that we are bearishly retesting here is looking a little bit more bearish in my opinion. You also have your 4 hours starting to roll over here, looking to print a red dot here pretty soon. So yeah, not the best. You do have money flow coming up, but it doesn't look too good. Again, it is positive that we're holding this level as support, but I do think we could come down a little bit more here on the SPY. Now, pulling up the DXY, some interesting stuff here, guys.
Can you pull up my screen, TJ? Is that possible?
Yeah. I think I can.
Pull up my screen over here. I'll show some people something I'm looking at. No,
Is this it?
No, that is not it. That's trading view.
Side computer, I'm not. Is it, you're seeing it on the desktop there? I'm getting a black screen.
Black screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting it for some reason.
All right, I'll try to figure it out.
Okay, well, while they try to figure that out, I want to show you guys these levels on the DXY. I actually brought this up at some point this week, I believe. The two levels we were watching for the DXY to get a bounce was this level at 110.77, and we actually ripped right. We held it for a little bit, but we actually broke through it. And that next level we were watching was about 110.24. And we were talking about how if the DXY came down to this level, and we got a big bounce or a decent bounce up, it could be a little bit bearish for Bitcoin, which obviously you see that happening now. And now Bitcoin is starting to take a little bit of a fall here.
Okay, can you try it now?
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay. I want to show people something. So this is Glassnode. And I was just looking at some indicators because usually that's what I do while Frank's talking. And, I'm looking, this is seller exhaustion. So this is basically like how much more selling there can be based upon the amount of sellers and their sell points, I guess. And what's really interesting is, well, let me give you the exact definition here. It's defined by the product of the percentage of supply and profit in 30-day price volatility. It detects when two factors co-align, low volatility and high losses. In other words, low risk bottoms. This metric was first put forth by ARK Invest. So this is what Kathy Wood and them use when it comes to trying to figure out where to get entry points at. But what's interesting, if you just look over here on the right side of the screen, right by the line here. Let's see. Can I make it bigger? Control plus.
Yep.
God, I don't know. I do not know how to use a PC. I have no idea where the plus sign is. Is that it? Ah, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Right here, we have been stuck at the same exact point since, let's see when this was. Right before it capitulated. Sorry to get the exact one. September 10th. For September 10th, this thing is sat at pretty much the exact same spot. And if you look back through the history since July 14, which is, 2 bear markets now, we've never sat this long. This is the biggest cluster where the line basically does not move that we've had. And so what does that mean? That means that right now where we're at, we are at a support resistance combination. We are at we're at like a point where, excuse me, there's so much support at this level because there's so many people that want to hold this, but yet it's being counterbalanced by the people that are still selling at this point. And right now, one's got to win. And basing off of this, it seems like whoever breaks up or breaks down significantly here, this is going to tail the tape. If we go down, lower bottom, if we were to break back up and go back above 24,000 maybe, that might have been the bottom. I told you, we've been on bottom watch at this point. I think it's still going to come. But it looks like the next move that swings bigly, as someone put it one time, bigly. I haven't drank enough cafe this morning. It might be the move that defines the rest of this market for the rest of this year and next year.
I couldn't agree more. What was that chart?
It is called the seller exhaustion constant.
Seller exhaustion constant.
And
That's awesome.
it tracks all the way since they started, analyzing Bitcoin. The first transaction back to 2010 here. And it's just interesting to me that it is not like the squiggle lines over the last few months, I guess, they're so compressed into one area. We've never seen that before in this chart.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And I couldn't agree more. I've been telling people constantly that.
That's funny because it's called seller exhaustion constant.
Yeah,
constantly. Good one. Good one, Frank.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tell people constantly, we are at the breaking point, right? If we break this low at about, I would say if we break this last low that we made at 17.6, that could be the move that is going to give us a big move. Either way it breaks, I do think it's going to be an explosive move, but we're just kind of stuck in these little tiny obnoxious ranges.
Yeah. So it feels like every day you're like, all right, well, we got the red dots coming up. Okay. 3 days later. Well, look at the green dots. Here they are, and it's just, if you look at the green dots on Market Cypher, we've always wondered how Market Cypher was going to work throughout an entire bear market because Market Cypher wasn't invented at the beginning of the last bear market. It came, I think, near the beginning of it, but not the entire thing. We just don't have a lot to map out to say that this is the way the big green dots on the higher time frames are going to work in a bear market. If you go back to the bear market on the daily, I think there was the last one had 1 green dot in the bear market and it worked. If you go back previous to that, the previous cycle, it had 2 green dots close to each other. But this seems like, how many green dots do we have on daily so far? 2, right?
On the daily or on the weekly or the daily? The daily we have big green dots on, this is the DXY. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We got one here. We basically two big green dot or 3 big green dots in this bear market so far.
This is the most that we've ever had in a bear market.
Yeah, and it shows how bear markets play, right? Like usually in a bull market, guys, a lot of these bullish signals obviously play out way bigger. That's why you always want to remember, even if you get those bullish setups, I say this all the time, in a bear market, you want to, those bullish setups may not play out like they do in bull markets. And I was actually in Crypto Face's stream. Shout out to Crypto Face this morning. And he was talking about the same thing about kind of like when you see the money flow coming up to that zero line on really any of these time frames, or especially the bigger time frames in a bear market, usually that's a super, super bullish sign, and it could be a bullish sign in a bear market. But you just want to be super, super careful because those bullish setups could potentially get stepped on. That's why you always want to identify what market you're trading, right? If you're trading in a bear market, you always want to be very, very careful with the long positions and vice versa. So that's basically all I got for you guys today. Again, just watching those local levels, getting those short-term scalps, DXY starting to find support. And then, I would just, for the DXY, just make sure that you're watching these levels. I will just give you this one level before I pop off. It's going to be this top of this golden box at about 111.19. And that next level to watch is going to be that 110.77 level for some potential support and a continuation to the upside, which would be bearish for Bitcoin. That's all I got. I got Ben right behind me. That's all I got. Back to Ben. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Who would have ever thought I could fit behind Frankie? You couldn't see me. That's probably my biggest flex right there. Okay, all right. Check out a couple of stories. We got Twitter buzz. Let's
Yeah,
run through
Twitter
it real quick.
buzz. Twitter
Yeah,
buzz.
it's fine. I don't have to. My whole afternoon is canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, long
Wow.
story. Nothing to do after lunch.
Let's see what they have.
Gary Gensler says he sees me. David Burge, Musk, I'm gonna buy Twitter. Twitter. Oh, no, you're not. Musk. Okay, then I won't. Twitter. The hell you won't. Musk. Okay, then I will. Twitter. Over my dead body. Are they pushing against it right now?
I think they're always kind of against it. Now that he's saying he's going through with it, I don't think, people that work there are saying they don't like it. I'm sure, but it
They
looks
don't like him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I'm sure it seems like at this point it is going through. So
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens. Okay, next one. Breaking OPEC Plus considers, OPEC Plus? Is that like the group that's in OPEC plus like a few other countries that are major?
I believe so.
That's probably
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Like Russia. Russia's not technically in OPEC, or are they?
No, they're not.
Okay, so they're playing the plus. OPEC Plus considers quota cuts of up to 2 million barrels per day. Delegates. Wow. Man, that's going to be great. They're going to not make as much. Cool. What does that mean? It means the price of oil is going to go again. How many of y'all can handle that right now? Oh, y'all can handle another crazy oil run? We're having to pay. What was the highest anybody saw in America?
In the United
It had to be above $9, I would think. Because when I was at the Super Bowl in LA, the limo driver I was using while I was out there, he told me that and wherever he lived, it was like over $7. And that was during the Super Bowl. That was not even when we had the big surge in the spring. So very interesting. Okay. Bitcoin miner CleanSpark, excuse me, posts 21% hash rate growth in September. Wow.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's a lot.
We love CleanSpark. They a Las Vegas company is actually right down the street from us, is where we did a mining video. We showed you guys what miners look like. A lot of people think that they're like really nerdy. They kind of look like the guy from South Park that's playing the game. Maybe he's got Cheetos on the desk or whatever. No. These are good looking people. Good looking miners. But we did see their setup. What the submerged tanks?
Yeah, submersive tanks.
Submersive tanks. Yeah, there you go. And that was what they used at the facility we went to. They have another one south of Atlanta that we got some footage of as well. I think that one is airbed wind based or something.
Yeah, with fans and stuff. Yeah,
fans.
Basically not liquid cooled.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's move on to one or two market stories. Bitcoin repeats key bear market move as 19K becomes key BTC price zone. Ongoing tug of war. It's been stuck. Bitcoin still has $14,000 target. Warren's trader. Let's see who this is. I like to look who it is before I say their name, because sometimes I don't like the people. Sometimes I think they're an idiot. Let's see. Oh, Capo of Crypto. Isn't this the guy that Capo of Crypto? He called the bear market exactly or something like that. Somebody tell me why this Capo of Crypto, what he's known for on Twitter. There's a very specific thing. Yeah, I do not hate this guy. So great. He gets to get the article read about him. A push higher for Bitcoin is likely to form the final breakout before plumbing new lows. Is that correct usage of the word plumbing?
I've never
plummeting
seen
to new year multi-year lows. How many of you guys have used the word plumbing in this sense to mean going down? Okay. Fresh analyst maintains 21,000 upside target to precede new lows. And I tell you what I was doing while Frank was on. I was trying to hit a short.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to hit a short, but I'm logged out of my account. I need somebody here to log me back in. You want to know how to set up a successful crypto company? Have it where you can't get your own money or log into any of your accounts without help from your employees. So it's a good way to do it. But it referred to its 50-day moving average, which at 20,170 had not flipped to decisive support on the day. Signs of good times. Ending for US dollar. I wouldn't say ending. I mean, guys, we're still in the range for the DXY. If you're buying into this narrative that all of a sudden this is over and this is going to go back up or the dollar's going to go back down, guys, no evidence to support that at all. In fact, It is bouncing right off support. And the trend line down here at the bottom, this is what we want to pay attention to. Now, if you look back at this a little bit further, only on the last two did we wick in a decent amount below the trend line there. So something to watch. We could certainly go to this trend line. It's hard for me to see it going back down and then back up again. I think if it goes down, if it plunges through, it might stay down. But if it doesn't plunge through and we get a bounce, and I think right here, the fact it's supporting right here in the gold box it is pretty strong evidence, I think, that we are going to get a bounce back up. This is where we want to watch. This is going to be, in my opinion, the last hurrah for the DXY. I think we're going to go down. We're going to come up one more time, and we've looked at when that 120 top could be. That would be right around the end of November, which is exactly when we've been highlighting for the end of the market. If we go back, let's go to a weekly here, or the weekly. Just want to see how long has it been since we were this high. This is right at 2,000, and we were significantly higher than this here. Now, this would be interesting here. If we hit 120, if we hit 120, yeah, we hit 120, we would basically match where we were at back here with this, looks like the three domes in a house or whatever it's called. So we'll have to see what happens. It would still be not the highest high, which back here was like 150, 170, somewhere around there.
When was that date-wise?
Golly.
Does it say?
That would have been January 1985.
95.
So that would have been when
That was like the...
that would be the midterm elections, probably somewhere around there. Wait, midterm elections would be the next year. This is the beginning. This is right after 1984. This is right after George Bush was Ronald Reagan was reelected. Right after he was reelected. Look how strong the dollar was when he took over. And then you got the manipulation of the downside. It got out of control. Had to be forced down. See by the yellow X's here. It's fun to look at Market Cypher, how it affects these other charts. But I think we're going up to 120. I think it's going to be around November, end of November. And then boom, it's going to go down. Bitcoin's going to bottom. We're going to get a change in the rate hikes or cuts, whatever that's going to look like. And we're going to get this economy heading back in the right direction while they kick the can down the road. Spoke with somebody yesterday, quite interesting, talking about the digital dollar. Did not mention USDC, by the way, is this. But the same argument that I've been making on this show for probably 2 years. The way our government is going to kick the can down the road, stop inflation in the short term, is to increase the demand. Look at what's happening around the world. It's setting up for that right now. The world currencies are getting crushed. They're begging the Fed to do something. Hey, y'all want to play with the big boys? Then let's go ahead and make you use the US dollar. Let's come out with this digital dollar. And then we bail out everybody. Everybody's using our currency. Borderless demand all of a sudden goes out the roof for the dollar. Inflation gets back in check. And boom, we've got fiat running for another 20 years. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, it's all setting up perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin rising. BTC pound volume skyrockets to all-time high amid currency turmoil. Look, I don't know if y'all are in favor of Brexit. I don't even know if that's still a thing. But I'm so glad that we get to talk about the pound instead of the euro all the time. It's nice to have another currency. Here's a quick look at what transpired in the past few days. BTC pound fell to an all-time low value of $1.03 versus USD. Trading volume in Bitfinex and Bitstamp grew by 47,000 Bitcoin. Look, guys, people are trading it against the pound. People are trading Bitcoin against the pound. Bitcoin is showing it can benefit from the fragility of fiat currencies. Really? Wow.
Shocker.
Amazing. Shocker.
Yeah.
Wow. Where did they come up with that idea?
Amazing how it works.
Yeah, amazing. This is why you know you're on the cutting edge in crypto, because we've been telling you that forever. Let's see. Bitcoin trading volumes pushing to all-time high, according to CoinShares. James Butterfield. The value is 12 times bigger than $70 million day average. Bitcoin is a hedge or subject of speculative interest. And this is key, guys, because what do we mostly consider Bitcoin, crypto to be? Speculative. People think it's speculative. That's why they put money in and hope it goes up. But right now in the UK and around the world, you're really starting to understand why it is a hedge in times of turmoil. Because look, no matter what's going on with the price of Bitcoin versus, the traditional markets, the value of Bitcoin against extremely inflating currencies right now. It's going way up in value. Once again, showing it is a hedge, not a hedge on a daily basis. You're not going to be able to put money in Bitcoin and in a week later pull it out and you are safe against the markets. Over the longer term, over the midterm, it is shown it is a great hedge. Center of this is the falling of the British pound, losing 7% of its value versus the dollar. Long live Bitcoin, guys. Guys, Bitcoin is at an all-time high. This is so exciting. Does somebody have one of those, like the birthday or New Year's things?
Yeah.
What do you call that?
I mean, the first word that came to my mind is a kazoo, but it's not quite a kazoo, but it's similar. It's like,
That's because the noise I made
yeah,
was from my days, my earlier days. I used to be in a group called the Kazoo 7. We go all the time. Played a few poker gigs. But I want to call it a birthday blower. Is that what you call it?
yeah, sure.
A birthday blower? No, it's not a kazoo. It's a thing that you.
I know. Yeah. What do you do with it?
There is no way I could do this on a family-friendly show, and people are not going to think it's. No, not an air horn. The thing is rolled up, and then when you blow it, it goes. You guys know what I'm talking about. Noisemaker, a noisemaker. Is that what it is?
It could be. Yeah.
Where's the throaty Cody? Yeah,
a party horn.
A party horn?
According to Google.
A party horn.
Also a party blower, party pipe.
A party pipe.
Whoa, what the? Did you see that? That was wild.
Wow. My face got all jumbled. Bitcoin lost almost 71% of its all-time high price of $69,044 hit in November last year, trading at $20,100 as of this writing. According to mining data tools and metrics company Brains Insights, hash rate climbed all the way up to 258 exahashes per second. The increase in hash rate might cause adjustment in Bitcoin mining, and miner margins will be further squeezed. Hash rate's only way up. Let's see. It's unlikely hash rate in 2022 will be greater than 260 exahashes. Trying to look and see. The impressive increase could be due to the S19 XP ant miners going online. What I want to do is I want to pull up the hash rate on a Glassnode. See if I can pull this up here. Glassnode. Okay, yeah. Pull that down real quick while I log in. Okay. Let's see if I can pull it up because I'm very interested to see about the hash rate. All right. So let's extend this. Let's close this down a little bit. Okay. Let's see. It hit an all-time high back on April 15th, 2021. People would say that's pretty much the top. That was when Coinbase launched the stock. That was pretty much the peak of sentiment in the market. And that was also the top of the hash rate. And then you can see over here, it went way down. We come back here. Let's extend. What I'm trying to tell you here is this, is that traditionally the hash rate has been a good indicator of the top of the market. But it didn't work last time because we got the peak of sentiment in April and hash rate. We had one day where the price went up past the all-time high and then came back down. And hash rate did not set a record at that point. So let's see. Let's look at January 17, January 18. So about right here would have been the top. Yeah. You can kind of look here and see it as well. If you go back to the last, when the bear market started, basically, you can see that it dipped down dramatically right before, right at the bottom. So I guess right before that was the top. So yeah, the hash rate traditionally matches the Bitcoin price near the top. The bottom, it does not, because since the bottom is usually a year away from the top of price, by then the hash rate recovers and starts slowly ticking back up. So while it traditionally has been a good test at the top, it hasn't been of the bottom. So as you can see now, I mean, we're ticking right back up, even though we are in the think of a bear market here. You can see we're at all-time highs right now. So there you go. All right, what does Pure Multiple say about the current Bitcoin bear market? According to last week's report, miners are raking in just 63% of revenues. Here's a chart that shows the trend in the Bitcoin Pure Multiple over the last few days. We are in the green zone here, and it looks like it's showing there is an uptrend. And the last time, the last bear market, when we were near the bottom, you can see right here, they had a strong recovery off lows in the previous cycle. Right now, we're at the same place. So definitely something to watch. The bottom here would be, I don't know what the price that would equal. But anyways, we'll have to see what happens. I still think ultimately we're getting one more bottom, but maybe we don't. So there's some evidence now starting to show that maybe we saw the bottom. I think most people still feel like that's not true. If history is anything to go off of, the current uptrend in the Bitcoin Pure multiple could spell the end of the bear market. And it could come, like I said, we're on market watch or bottom watch, could come sooner rather than later. Businesses added 208,000 jobs in September, better than expected. Well, guys, this is really great that we are. Now, yesterday we looked at an article that said we're seeing signs of a recession. Signs everywhere. And we're still adding jobs. Now, let's look at what the percentage was here. 208,000 jobs. Now, this is just the number of jobs. This is not the unemployment rate. Let's see. I don't think they have that in here. Unemployment. It's not even in here. So we'll have to wait for that number. I guess it's coming probably this week, I would think, if this just came out. So we don't know exactly what the implication of this is yet. Because if we added 208,000 jobs, but the unemployment rate went up, then those two kind of cancel each other out. What we don't want more jobs and unemployment rate going down. I know it sounds callous because we want people to get jobs, especially if you're unemployed. But in the type of market we're in, if that continues, that's just more pain to come on the other side because those new jobs are going to get taken away, just like a lot of jobs that are currently around. I think the unemployment rate could have a significant hit one way or the other, or unemployment rate will go up considerably, I think, in the next 6 months. The Fed is going to cause unbelievable calamities if they keep hiking, according to Barry Sternlicht. Now, I'll tell you guys something that a lot of people don't know, which is hiking. Here, as you guys can see on the hiking, I like to call this difficult walking. I know a lot of you guys, you like to go out to the mountains, you like to go to the canyons, by the river. I'm just not a fan of difficult walking. You know where I want to walk? Sidewalk. Did you know if you walk right off the sidewalk on the grass, you'll burn 7% more calories? There's a tip for you guys. That's true.
That's interesting.
Well, a guy told me that like 20 years ago, and I believed it ever since.
Yeah.
So I've been operating under that presupposition. Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hike path, an attempt to tame down the highest inflation in decades, is set to cause damage to the global economy if the central bank keeps going. Guys, we're starting to see people speak out, countries, individuals. Time to stop raising the rates, guys. Time to stop. I'm telling you, this is so set up perfect for December to be the announcement that they're going to stop, just like I've been saying pretty much the whole entire year. When that happens, make sure somebody goes and finds that clip. He noted that the Fed's actions, which have boosted the U.S. dollar, are already scrambling global currency markets. Many currencies, including the yen, euro, and pound, have lost value against the dollar. These changes can put a wrench in global trade. Oh, we run this. We run this. That's what the truth is, guys. The United States, when it comes to the world economy, we run this. When we get powerful, everybody else is hurting. Please, Mr. America, will you please stop? Just remember that, guys. Our Fed controls the world economy. Everybody wants to talk about China, blah, 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 blah. You see who runs things. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the United States has faded in power and that new world reserve currency is coming around the corner. Everybody hates America. Everybody hates the U.S. dollar. Well, that might be true. They may hate it. But they got to respect it. And our government is not as stupid as you think they are. All the stuff we see, the inflation. Do you really think that Jerome Powell thought inflation was transitory? You really think he believed that? Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
There's not a chance. I know this man has read a book before. He's got glasses on the end of his nose sometimes. That's how you read. The fact is, America's rate hikes or cuts determine everything that goes on in the world economy. Now, the question is, how long can the United States put pressure and pain on other world governments before it starts actually harming our own economy? Because guess what? If we are in control of world trade, but people aren't producing stuff so they can't actually trade it, then are we really winning? I think this is kind of what you saw, after the pandemic where, everybody was hurting because of all the supply chain problems. And then eventually, governments had to stop actions to get everything back in line. And all of a sudden, everything started working again. We don't want to be in a situation to where we are hurting the world economy to the point where only we're winning. We can't only win. If we're the only ones winning, it's like my son, he's on cross country. If everybody on his team was the last place finisher, except there's one guy who won the state, who wants to go run with that guy? You want to be embarrassed? You want to go run with that guy that runs a 3 minute and 56 mile? No, definitely not. Nobody wants to. You want everybody to kind of be close together relatively. So you're cheering each other on as everybody finishes and things like that. So we don't want to be the only ones at the top. So there is a fine line here. And I think raising the rates one more time will accomplish that goal. It'll put enough pain, enough pressure, send the market to a bottom. And in December, we get the announcement of the ceasing of rate hikes. Then going into Christmas, everybody is happy. U.S. national debt tops $31 trillion for first time.
That's insane.
How is Joe Biden going to let that stand? What? Joe, can you not change the way we keep the records? Can you not change the definition? I got it. From this point forward, trillion's actually going to lose 3 zeros.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Trillion's going to become a billion.
Yeah. Oh, man. America's gross national debt exceeded $31 trillion for the first time on Tuesday. A grim financial milestone that arrived just as the nation's long-term fiscal picture has darkened amid rising interest rates. Higher rates could add an additional $1 trillion to what the federal government spends on interest payments this decade, according to Peterson Foundation estimates. That is on top of the record $8.1 trillion in debt costs Congressional Budget Office projected in May. Expenditures on interest could exceed what the United States spends on national defense by 2029. If interest rates on the public debt rise to be just 1 percentage point higher than what CBO estimated over the next few years. Let's see. Slash rates to 0. Rates set between 3 and 3.25. Let's see. They had them going up to 3.8. It changed to 4.6. The CBO warned about America's mounting debt load in a report earlier this year, saying investors could lose confidence in the government's ability to repay what it owes. Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that Mr. Biden's policies have added nearly $5 trillion. Deficit path is almost certainly too high. We are sort of at the edge. Okay, before, now we're at the edge below. Okay, there you go. How do you feel about the debt? Do you think the number matters that much?
I mean, yeah, it matters in the sense, like, if everything's a big Ponzi, right, then no, the numbers don't matter that much because, and this is something even a young, like as a kid, you start asking questions like, what do you mean? Like every country owes every other country bajillions of dollars. If countries in in trouble, why don't they just call their debts home? And it's like, oh, they can't call their debts home or the whole economy crashes. And it's like, well, then what's the point of the debt if nobody can repay it? But I think it matters in the sense that it's getting to an exorbitant number to where it becomes clear there is no repayment and the only way to fix it will be blowing up the whole system. So that's the kind of fear they're trying to stave off at all points of like when it becomes glaringly obvious to everyone that there's no way, hey, your interest payment now is more than your entire GDP. That's a problem, and companies shouldn't be buying treasuries or bonds for your country if they don't think you're going to be, able to repay your debt. So will they find some crazy mental gymnastics to push this down the road another 10 or 15 years? Probably. But at some point, it will have to break. It's just a matter of when that point will be.
Well, the thing is, it's about percentages and proportions. If our debt is out of proportion to the world's debt and how it increases, then we would be in big trouble. But what you see is a lot of these countries, they just continue to get in bigger debt than we are. I mean, percentage-wise to their overall economy. So as long as everybody's debt is going up, it's not that big of a deal. If all of the world debt was going down and ours was going up, that would be a lot more concerning. So, and obviously, the way that things are reported on, like, oh my God, this is the biggest debt we've ever had. They're like, yeah, it is. It's always going to be a bigger debt because we don't pay it off. But the fact is, like in dollars, the increase over the last few years is gigantic. But percentage-wise, is it really that out of whack? When you look at charts over, 100, 200-year period for like American presidents, yes, the latest one is always going to have the biggest budget. The biggest budget in history, thanks to Joe Biden. It's like, yeah, of course, because the way budgets work in the government is to get more money, you got to spend more money. So they're always increasing the number. You really got to look at the percentages. I
Well,
think
and also the total supply, right? Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
dollar doesn't have nearly the same, 31 trillion today was 15 trillion just a few years ago. So
what I want to, what was that question that person said they asked 700 times and never got answered? Praveen, Praveen, go up near the top.
one question that got asked a lot that hasn't been answered is about can the government make Three Arrows Capital liquidate all their stuff? I've seen that one.
Their capital already insolvent, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're talking about the remaining assets. Can they force them to sell, like spot sell all their crypto? And the answer is
No.
not really.
No. Yeah. Hey, Braves. How about that?
Yeah.
Braves. National League champions. I was listening to the radio last night. And they cut over to Aaron Judge hitting, and I got to listen on the radio when he hit a 62nd home run. That was cool. 62 home runs, big deal, guys. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, of course, and then Barry Bonds. Look, you don't think all those guys and all the guys today are using steroids? If you think your favorite player from the 90s, the 2000s, or today is not using steroids, then you know what? I got a bridge to nowhere to sell you. I got some oceanfront property in West Virginia that you can actually come get for a steal of a price. Because, guys, they all use steroids or HGH or something. They all do. If they didn't, then I don't think they could compete on low. They're all doing something, okay? And look, what they're doing may not be illegal, but all these professional athletes, you don't think they use stuff you don't have access to? That's the way that it works. That's how you get, part of the top here. So Barry Bonds, 71 home runs. I respect it. Sorry. I think he's the home run champion. I think that's the best season ever. I don't care that his head is 7 times bigger than when he started. I could only be. The question is, did his brain get bigger? If it did, Twitter shares surged 22% after Elon Musk revives deal to buy company at original price. Elon Musk reversed course and is again proposing to buy Twitter for $54.20 a share. September, Twitter shareholders approved Musk's bid to buy the company. Okay.
And I saw he said it's going to accelerate the creation of his new everything app, X.
He said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tweeted about it.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's always an angle here. And I guess what he's factoring in is the amount of money that he can make from that is in the short term, and by short term, I mean in the next few years, would offset the amount of money he's technically losing by buying something that has fake numbers that shouldn't apply to the overall price.
Right.
So did we never, Barry Bonds didn't do steroids. Oh, man, that's good stuff. Hey, I don't hate him. I don't hate Barry Bonds for using steroids. Did we ever get that question? We never found it.
No.
Praveen, ask again. We'll look for it. I want to know what the answer to that was. Steroids should be legal for sports. Way more entertaining. I agree 100%. I think it's ridiculous. You want to know why steroids are illegal? You want to know why HGH is illegal and peptides are illegal and stuff like that? Because of big pharma. Like, think if everybody was, using HGH, there's a lot less problems that people have health-wise. It fixes a lot of problems. You can look into a lot of that stuff. Barry Bonds had a growth spurt in his 30s. Yeah, I think Olympic athletes, I think they all should use steroids. I want to see the world in a better place. Florida hedge fund could reap around $200 million from big arbitrage bet on Twitter. Among the big winners, Elon Musk's agreement followed through with this deal is to buy Twitter. There's an activist hedge fund based in a coastal Florida city. That narrows it down. Oh God, it was just right by Hurricane Ian. That does narrow it down. Sorry about that. Thoughts and prayers to all those people. They're getting 50-50 odds on something that should happen 95% of the time. I guess the hedge fund was betting on this buy is what it was. And when it buys, they're going to make a bunch of money. Saudi Prince Alwaleed bin Talal is a long-term shareholder. Now, isn't that the guy who ordered the hit on Jamal Khashoggi? Wasn't this the name of the guy? I think it was. Somebody can look that up. Somebody can confirm that in the chat for me, if that is the guy's name. In fact, he owns 39.95 million shares, worth $2.17 billion at the acquisition price. Jack Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder and former CEO, owns 18.04 million shares, valued close to $1 billion. Among institutions, the only investors with bigger stake than Pentwater are Vanguard, BlackRock, SSGA, and Fidelity. Man, we love SSGA. I have no idea what that is. The other three, we all know. And we know that Vanguard and BlackRock are the biggest holders of Twitter. So they are going to get a big payday. I want to see in this story if there's anywhere that says like why, what made this happen on this schedule. It could happen as soon as Friday. Value 44 billion. Go. Twitter, the number of bots. Twitter countered, saying that he was guilty of fraud. Okay. Although Musk sought to delay the trial date, Delaware Chancellor Kathleen McCormick rejected his wish, citing the potential for Twitter to incur irreparable harm. Chancellor did allow Musk and his attorneys to amend their counterclaim. Blah, 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 blah. So I guess this is what happened. I guess they were working on this counterclaim and they just figured it wasn't worth it. Let's just go and buy it. So, I mean, he obviously was playing hardball with them, I think, is what it looks like. We'll see, though. Look, we were almost sure Prince bin Salman, that was the one. Okay. We apologize to the prince, Alaweed. We apologize. Sorry, false accusation. It was Prince bin Salman. The bin threw me off. Same bin, two bin. Crypto-friendly, Ray Dalio steps back from Bridgewater's $150 million fund. Now, we talked about it briefly yesterday as the news was broken, or breaking. After 47 years in charge of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates, its founder, Ray Dalio, has finished a leadership transition that began in February. He's no longer one of three co-chief investment officers, but will remain a chief investment officer, mentor, and operating board member. While repeatedly sharing his fears that the United States government would take zero-tolerance stance toward digital money, he continued to sympathize with Bitcoin. In January 2022, he listed three primary reasons why Bitcoin, along with gold, could be an inflation hedge. Network's never been hacked, has no better competitor. Bitcoin adoption rates would suggest it's chipping away global market cap. Now, I want to really highlight here on has no better competitor, because this really depends on how you count that, how you judge that. When you look at a competitor, are you talking about market cap? Overall market cap in crypto? That would like be similar to comparing gold versus copper, for instance, right? Like they're two different things. Like, yeah, they're metals. They're two different things. Like copper's used for all kinds of stuff and gold's used for other stuff. And it's really hard, to compare it to. Like, obviously gold has a bigger market cap, more popular, more valuable per ounce, whatever the case may be. But they're apples and oranges. When you look at, and it might even be a better comparison to say something like gold versus soybeans, because they're totally different, but they're both commodities. Now, with better competitor, like, yeah, there's no other digital gold out there that can touch Bitcoin. But in the world of crypto, I mean, Ethereum already is pretty close to it. And I do believe it's going to pass it. It's like comparing soybeans to gold. Like, Ethereum isn't trying to be gold. They're trying to be soybeans. They do a great job. More people can be interested in it than interested in gold. But, you got to be real careful when you talk about competitor. Ethereum and Bitcoin are not competitors. They don't do the same thing. Okay. Something that happens with Bitcoin, if it doesn't happen with Ethereum or vice versa, it won't have a bearing on one or the other than obviously just the price of Bitcoin affects the overall market of everything. So I agree with him. It has no better competitor. I believe Bitcoin's the greatest asset ever created in the history of Earth. Okay, like gold wasn't created by people, okay? But what I'm saying is Bitcoin was designed to be a better version of gold. However, just because Ethereum is crushing in market cap, is trying to be something different. Ethereum isn't trying to be like gold. Bitcoin is a hedge. It's an asset. Bitcoin right now is not capable of becoming the world currency in the short term. Down the road, I believe that it will be. And Bitcoin is slow, and it's clunky, and it's outdated tech. None of that stuff matters in the digital gold argument. So some people were like saying the other day about saying really bullish on Bitcoin. And how can you say Bitcoin's the greatest asset in the world and then you like Ethereum more? It's because of use case, guys. It's because of use case. They're not competitors. Bitcoin, digital gold, every other coin out there pretty much trying to do something different. So I do believe Bitcoin will eventually become the world currency, like 50 years from now or 25 to 50 years. But I believe Ethereum's a better investment. I hope that makes sense for you guys. OM, hey, Ben, why haven't others spoken out like you on Sam FTX? Unaware. Wendy, positive on FTX. Sam, I think that'll be changing. I think that would change. LEO partnership with FTX. Guys, these people don't know this happening. I mean, I know Wendy knows because I told her. So I don't know what she does with that information. But that's up to her and her business. I can't dictate what other people do. Okay. But what I would tell you is this is happening because of some stuff that I'm involved with behind the scenes. I came across this information. It's 100% true. There's no question about it. This is not speculation. This is not I heard it from somebody. This is direct discovery of the information. It's happening. All these people it's up to them to decide what they want to do with it. I'm telling you what we're doing with it. And anybody else probably on YouTube that knows about this probably started hearing it from me. So we'll find more about that by the end of the year. But yeah, so that's why you don't hear a lot of other people speaking out about it. They haven't seen the evidence that I've seen. Michael Saylor, Snubs, claim he doesn't use Bitcoin Lightning Network.
I saw this.
Michael Saylor, executive chairman of MicroStrategy, aka still the CEO of Bitcoin, does not like to be called out. He responded to a poll shared by Eric Wall, crypto researcher, suggested he had not used Bitcoin's Lightning Network more than 3 times, which are a poll of his own. Now, Eric Wall didn't say that he didn't. He just posted a poll.
Yeah, he just said, "What do you guys think?"
Yeah. Okay. 52.2% said yes. Wonder how that was affected by this.
Well, it was so it was like 70% no, and then that's when Saylor quote tweeted it and said, "Oh, I definitely do, and I'll give money to." The part that got everybody laughing is he said he'll give 1 million sats to 3 people, which is like $200. You know, and he's one of the biggest Bitcoin holders. You know, they were just laughing. It gave off very much like billionaire throwing pennies at peasants kind of vibes, but that's what people were saying.
Pennies at peasants?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I would have probably said no.
Yeah, I would have voted no initially. Yeah.
Well, because to use Lightning Network and send sats means you're cashing in on your crypto, right? I mean, you're
spending
your crypto.
Yeah.
You're getting back nothing for it. Maybe a good or a service, who knows? But you know, Michael Saylor knows the game. He knows you don't want to be selling, especially right now.
Right.
So there you go. Who cares if Michael Saylor uses Lightning? He's a net buyer and holder and transactor. Yeah, I don't care if he uses Lightning or not.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't care about Lightning Network. It means nothing to me. I'm never going to use Bitcoin in that way. Well, can't say never. Who knows what will happen in the future? As of today, I cannot foresee a world where I'm alive, where I'm spending my Bitcoin through Lightning Network. Yeah, sure, I'll use my crypto.com card in the bull market at the top. Sure, it's a good way to take profits. But I'm not going to actually be sending Bitcoin on Lightning Network anywhere. You know, it just it has a use. The Bitcoin maximalists love it. It certainly improves and makes things faster. But yeah, I'm not going to be using it. So how many times have I used the Lightning Network? That's a good question. I just asked myself that question.
Do you know?
I think 2. I think 2 times I used it. I'm trying to think. Like, I think there was a third time. There was a third time where I was at a small talk about cryptos back in 2019, and one of the sponsors was an app that worked on the Lightning Network, and so they had us all like on the app trying to send a transaction. And as the guy's up there doing the demonstration, I guess it went down and it didn't work. So all these people were holding their phones trying to, oh, this is cool. Like, show me how to use this great way. Oh, this is going to make Bitcoin relevant. You know, it's going to be faster. And then everybody's holding their phone working it, and the app stopped working.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody could send a transaction. It was, the guy was out there scrambling. Well, see, if it would have worked, this is how it, like, that's so perfect, you know, analogy for, you know, Bitcoin and Lightning Network. So, or it was a microcosm of the problems, I guess, a better way to say it. The poll, as well as recent commentary from Wall, bringing a bigger focus. Is Lightning Network a fringe solution to Bitcoin scalability problem that even the biggest names in the Bitcoin space struggle to use? Or is the Lightning Network following 8 years of development and a failure? Guys, it is going to work. It's similar to, it's kind of like if you had like, let's say you're a fan of an NFL team. Let's say you love the Atlanta Falcons because you glutton for punishment. You know, you're into BDSM. You love being punished and pain and hurt and torture. And for 1 week, you know, you get out of it. And then the next week, you know, you're like, I'm very hopeful. And then they just come in and do it all again. Some people like that. I'm not a fan of it. But the point here is, if you're a Falcons fan, and let's say at the store, in the team store in the stadium, they had their own kind of internal currency, right? You could do stuff with Falcons tickets and get points, and then you could go into the store and you can use those points. Some NFL teams, that might work. Some of those stores might do very well with their internal economy. but that doesn't mean that every single place is going to adopt this. That's kind of similar to how I look at this. The Bitcoin economy is kind of an internal economy. The people that are inside of it and want to use it and learn it, they're excited about it. Lightning Network makes it easier. It's good. But outside of that, the rest of us are like, nah, I think I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. I'd rather just spend my 20 bucks. So that's kind of how I see it. It's good. It works. It's great. But general public, probably not going to use Lightning Network. Overwhelming sentiment for the panel is Lightning Network is still a work in progress. I mean, I believe that. But I also, it's so funny when we were at the Bitcoin conference. I'll do you one better. I was a Washington football team. I can't say that word.
Yeah. That is pretty bad, though. That's about as bad as it gets. That's worse than being a Falcons fan.
Oh, well, you could be a Cleveland Browns fan. Let me tell you what's going to happen for Cleveland Browns fans. I got some exciting news for you guys. You got some exciting news. Now, we just beat the Cleveland Browns on an interception at the end of the game, no less.
Yeah.
But what I'll tell you is, let me predict the future for the Cleveland Browns. You all ready? Deshaun Watson comes back next year. Y'all do pretty good. You make the playoffs, maybe. The next year, y'all win the Super Bowl. Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson as your quarterback. How are you going to celebrate that? You're going to be wearing Deshaun Watson jerseys everywhere you go? Like, what a guy. We love Deshaun Watson. Awesome. 25 to 50 ladies. I'm just saying, I'm not saying the guy's guilty. I mean, whatever it is. But if you look into what happened, there was definitely things that were abnormal about the way he was selecting those folks. The one Super Bowl you'll ever win, pretty much going to have, a quarterback who's going to live with allegations for the rest of his life. I had already played out that scenario when I thought the Falcons were going to get him. And it's like, love to win the Super Bowl with him. Oh, God, they're going to protest the Super Bowl. Like, you can see how great that'll be if that happens. But I remember when we were at Bitcoin 2022 and Michael Saylor got up and Michael Saylor said, never sell your Bitcoin. And this crowd stayed up. Love, Michael Saylor, don't sell your Bitcoin. Love that. And Jack Mallers got up, end of the day. All right, everybody. Do I have like a hat? There's two Bitcoin heads or something like that. Wear it down over my eyes. Hey, everybody. Jack Mallers. Here. Strike. Hey, guys. You want a way to sell your Bitcoin? I'm going to show you how to do it. Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited to find a way to sell my Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin maxi crowd. They're the most brainwashed, brain-dead people you've ever seen. All they look for is for their heroes. They just clap no matter what. You can't have both. You can't be excited about people never, ever, ever selling and then spending your Bitcoin. That is selling. That's literally selling your Bitcoin off. So, it is what it is. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? We'll run down. Fidelity reveals $5 million Ethereum index fund. We just talked about yesterday about how some of these funds and institutions are getting more into altcoins. Fidelity has $5 million invested. They've been busy working on a crypto exchange, EDX markets. Hey, do you think these institutional exchanges will be real big in the next bull run?
These institutional exchanges?
I mean, Fidelity is working on a crypto exchange.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be able to push a lot of money through. I mean, I think they'll have a lot of volume. They've got all the money.
Yeah. Well, Sam Bankman-Fried has a way. Might be one of the only ones you can use. Index funds tend to have a higher minimum, although $50,000 minimum on the new Fidelity fund, $20,000 minimum at ETH and Bitwise, putting them largely out of the range for retail investors. So there you go. Federal regulators are just preparing to pass judgment on Ethereum. They're actually going to do this action?
I don't know.
Are regulators with the U.S. SEC going to take down Ethereum? It certainly seems possible, is what they say here. This is ridiculous. Perhaps the most ground-shaking shots occurred when the SEC took aim at Ethereum, blah, 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 blah. Arguably, though, it is closer to meeting the Howey factors. All this aggressive posturing by the SEC foreshadow and enforcement action against Ethereum or actions against foreign actors for foreign conduct on Ethereum. Most likely, this is a negotiating tactic meant to scare This is actually good journalism. This is actually a great paragraph. You guys should actually read this. More likely, this is a negotiating tactic meant to scare the industry into succumbing to the SEC's jurisdiction voluntarily. Come in and talk to us, essentially. Because if Ethereum is at risk of being deemed a security exchange, Ethereum, then surely so are all other tokens and decentralized finance platforms in the industry, except for Bitcoin. This is a good article because that's exactly true, guys. This is not. Look at this.
Creepy.
Oh my gosh, that man! I told you he's a lizard person. I tried to tell you. He actually originated on Pandora, planet Pandora. Actually, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to connect with his braid. That's an Avatar joke. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Avatar 2, is that out?
I don't know if it's out, but I did see a funny meme
Yeah,
that was
I
like,
saw that.
yeah, 2009 we had Avatar and Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, global recession. Here we are, 2022, new Modern Warfare, new Avatar, new global recession.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, Gary Gensler's power is on the way out. I'm telling you now. That's why you're seeing what he's doing. Look, what do you think the Kim Kardashian thing was about? What was it about? How many? Let me ask you this: how many wins under the SEC does Gary Gensler have? How many wins? How many cases he won since then?
I don't know.
Close to zero. Close to zero. Library, still ongoing. XRP, Ripple, still ongoing. A lot of people have been charged with stuff. Where's the win? He might have one or two that we can't see. You know how you can look it up? You can type in list of SEC cases, and then it'll take you to a place within the SEC where you can click on different niches. I think crypto is one of those, and then it lists them sequentially. You should do it here. List of SEC cases. Let's see. Litigation releases. We want to go to crypto only. How do we search that? I wonder. Doing filings, information. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. I don't see it on here, but there is a way you can test. You can look by what's going on. Let's see here. There's another list that I've seen where you can click by. There's the actual complaints. Somebody can find that. That'd be great. But I don't think he's won anything since he's been in there. Not that I know of. Definitely doesn't have a big one. Yeah, Kim Kardashian settled. She settled. Why? This is a huge win for Gary Gensler. He's trying to show with the SEC and everybody, hey, I can get wins. I can add them up. I can rack them up. So what happens? Goes after Kim Kardashian because it makes the news. Let me say this. Gary Gensler is the Kim Kardashian of the government. It's all about flash. It's all about pizzazz. Not a lot of substance. Sorry, Kim. I'd take you over Gary any day. But the point is, it's all about appearance, and it's all about narratives and news and getting out there. That's why that happened. Why do you think the SEC went after Floyd Mayweather and DJ Khaled? And at the time, didn't go after actual scammers, didn't go after projects that, disappeared, didn't go after, the BitConnect folks. Now, eventually they did go after the BitConnect folks. So that did happen. But Floyd Mayweather, DJ Khaled, man, those are big names. That makes news. That's the SEC's game. So did you ever find anything?
No.
Now, you hate the SEC. Throw the X up. If you hate, this is galvanized the crypto community against the SEC. SEC slams Ripple-friendly firms for attempting to help defendants. In a motion letter to federal judge Annalisa Torres, the SEC asked the court to deny the request, we covered this story yesterday, from iRemit and TapJets to file amicus briefs in support of the defendant's motion for summary judgment. Okay. Here we go. This is it. So this is what the SEC says to Ripple. Hey, guys, there's people that agree with you. I'm on my cheek. There's people that agree with you and they want to help stand up for you. Judge, that's not allowed. Judge, they can't have people on their side. Who do you think is going to win this? What big decision has the SEC won over Ripple? Zero. Number is zero. They have no big wins. Every one of the major points in this case, the judge decided with Ripple. All these appeals, all these briefs, all this stuff goes to Ripple. So maybe they'll take the hint, but I think, they're just trying to extend this. Plaintiff says the movements cannot actually explain how Ripple being required to register its XRP distribution would prevent them from using the tokens. So basically, what they're saying here, what the SEC is saying is, so they're not smart enough to know how it needs to be registered with the SEC. So I don't count. Oh my gosh. XRP will be adopted by the entire world, says popular U.S. music producer. The founder and CEO of Sound Alive Records, Eric Finneran, known in the game as E. Smitty, has recently revealed he believes XRP token will be adopted by the entire world. It's a crypto with fast settlement times and low transaction fees. So there you go. So there's your Ripple news for the day. Big shout out to the XRP Army. We never asked anyone to smash the like button today.
No, we have a lot of likes though.
We do.
Yeah.
How many do we have?
1454.
1454. Guys, before we go off the air here and as we do Q&A, can we get that number to 2,000? If you could do me one favor, smash that like button. Be the number one thing you can do at the end of the show. All right. Go ahead and start pulling Q&A. I'll just run over these real quick. Co-founder Dan Leon resigns after Mashinsky exits. European passes MiCA, EU's comprehensive crypto regulation. That could be interesting. Do Kwon has had his $36 million in crypto.
And he's been responding to these articles.
That's the one who says it's not true.
Yeah, this one, last one said wasn't true too. He came out and responded to these. I have no idea what the point of these kind of articles are. I don't know whose money they froze. I've never used KuCoin. I've never used OKX, but hopefully they use the money for good kind of thing. So speculate. And now who knows if he's telling the truth or not.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we could have had Do Kwon not in jail and get on our side.
Yeah.
Against Sam Bankman-Fried. People Discord server exploited by hackers attempting to drain wallets. ASIS dips into metaverse with flagship NFT platform. Crypto exchange OKX website blocked in Russia. And Middle East and North Africa are fastest growing crypto markets. Oh yeah, I'll be there in 1 second. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Allison. We have a book meeting. So there you go. That's all the news. Q&A. We'll do a question or two.
Yeah. Should we be worried about having assets on Ledger or other cold storage if this bill you're talking about passes? Will we lose these platforms?
Ledger has nothing to do with FTX.
No, but
Ledger
it won't.
X, a derivatives platform, was bought by FTX. But actual Ledger, the cold storage wallet company, SBF has nothing to do with that. But you should always be concerned about having your crypto on cold storage instead of on exchanges. There you go.
Wait, what?
What
you should always be concerned about having your crypto on cold storage rather than an exchange. The other way around.
Well, it should be a concern. You should always want to have your crypto on a cold storage wallet.
Right. Yeah. So if you have your assets on cold storage, there's nothing to worry about with this regulation.
It's a topic you should always be concerned about. That's what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And if this regulation was to pass, it would affect people trying to create crypto companies more than the actual holder.
Absolutely. This is industry wide. This is so concerning.
It's going to stifle innovation. But no, you don't. If you hold certain assets, regardless of where you hold them, it's not anything.
Right.
They're not coming for you. Let's see. A lot of cold wallet. No. What's more likely, Ben loading up on XLM or TJ loading up on XRP?
I'm going to say me loading up on XLM because we've already done it.
Yeah,
we've already added it to our ISO 20022 portfolio. So, and look, once again, I've been told by someone that works at Stellar, Jay McHale is no longer involved. He is speaking at their conference. Very interesting to see what he says at that conference. So he's not involved in day-to-day at all anymore. So maybe somebody else that works there or he himself wants to come out and refute that. If that's true, then it is what it is. But I literally was told that directly by someone that works there. So.
Will altcoins bottom when Bitcoin bottoms or later during the accumulation phase?
Traditionally, we've seen it during the accumulation stage for Bitcoin. So 2019 is when a lot of projects hit a bottom. So obviously, we could probably expect that again. But the altcoin market behaved differently at the top than it did before in the previous cycle. So we just can't really know that for sure. But I'm expecting a lot of good accumulation prices for the entire year next year, at least all the way through quarter 3. Quarter 4, things might start heading a little bit up. Okay. Oh, you want me to rap like some bars?
No.
Spit some bars?
It's spelled different.
Oh, it is. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. I got to go do a book meeting. So I got to be blessed. People out.